Today we're going to learn how to divide by one digit. A one-digit divisor. So we're going to begin with 540 divided by 5. We're first going to ask ourselves, does 5 go into our first number? And yes, it does. It goes in once. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract and we're going to get 0. Now remember, we follow the rules: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down when we're dividing. So we've done the division. We said 5 goes into 5. We did the multiplication. It was 5 times 1 is 5. We subtracted. Now we're ready to bring down. Bring down the 4. If 5 does not go into what you brought down already, then you have to put a 0 above and bring the next digit down. Now it's 5 going into 40. So 5 goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract and you get 0. Now, if we want to check to see if 108 really does work, like we want to check our work, we could do 108 times 5, because multiplication is the opposite of division. And that would be 8 times 5 is 40. Put the 0, carry the 4. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. And it works because this 540 is the same as this 540. Very good. Let's continue. Let's do another. You can stop, rewind, replay as often as you need to. I'm going to change colors for the next problem. Number 2. 8,246 divided by 2. Well, 2 goes into 8. We're always going to ask ourselves, does it go into the first digit? If it does, we're trucking right along. If it doesn't, we're going to ask if it goes into both. But we don't want to go that far because it goes into 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract and you get 0. Bring down your 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract and you get 0. Bring down your 4. 2, and I do try to put arrows here because that reminds me what's been brought down and what has not been brought down. And 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract and you get 0. You're going to bring down a 6. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract and you get 0. Our answer is 4,123. Now what if we had a whole bunch of zeros, and by a whole bunch I mean 2, to deal with? Well, 9 doesn't go into 5. So now we say, does it go into 54? Yes, it does. It doesn't go into 5. I put a 0 above it. It goes into 54. 6 times 9 is 54. Subtract and I get 0. Now, is my answer 6 and I'm done? Well, 9 times 6 equals 54. 9 times 6 does not equal 5,400. So it cannot be just 6. Therefore, I need to put a 0 here and here in those two spaces, which is why your teachers have told you that it matters where you line up your numbers above the division bar. Yes, it matters. Okay, so if 9 didn't go into 5, you can't put the 6 there. You put the 6 above the 4 because 9 went into 54. That makes sense? We're going to do one more, and then we're going to help you in class when you need help. How about red? It'll look like Christmas here together, but that's okay. It feels like Christmas when you're learning, doesn't it? Especially when you're learning math. This one is 2,933 divided by 7. 7 does not go into 2, so we're moving on. It goes into 29. That comma, we act like is not even there. We ignore it completely. So 7 doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 29 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Remember, we're following divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. We're going to do it all the way, then we're going to go back to divide again until we're done with the problem. Daughter, mother, sister, brother is a little, it's not a rhyme, but a little saying we like to use to remind ourselves what we're doing with divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So now if 7 goes into 13, which it does, we brought down the 3. 2 times, whoa, that would be 14. That doesn't work. That means 1 is the right answer. And 1 times 7 is 7. Subtract and you get 6. Now before I go on, let me explain. If this number remaining is bigger than this number as your divisor, then we have a problem and you needed to make this number bigger. Okay, but that did not happen because it was the right number. And so I had to bring down my 3. And 7 goes into 63. 9 times 7 is 63. 419 is our final answer. Ask questions in class, rewatch as you need to.